mean, like the way you're talking about boldness as a definition of something that you can grow into, I think that's just something positive that everyone should actually take hold of. So that kind of leads me to like books. Obviously, I think on your journey there was probably some key books that kind of help you come to this eureka moments, and then obviously then you wrote books to help people move forward. And anyone that's watching this video right now, you can kind of see his background is completely full with dozens of books. So if you had to pick a book, like maybe one from behind you or one that you could recall from your journey that would help you to become who you are, what recommendation for would that book be?
Yeah, there's so many that have influenced my life. But the one that's probably the most profound is Man's Search for Meaning
Hmm.
by Viktor Frankl, who was an Auschwitz survivor. And two incredibly powerful messages that came out of that book was the first one was that the gap between stimulus and response is the opportunity for growth and learning and
Mm.
uh, and uh, and positive result. Because when you have a stimulus, we have something that happens, somebody that says something, and you have a reaction, and there's no gap, especially if it's a negative reaction, and you don't pause in between, you're not thinking about the outcome that you want anymore. You're releasing some negative energy that has been built in you.
Mhm.
But if you, it's just, the perfect example is somebody writes you an obnoxious email, and it irritates the hell out of you, and you write that answer right there, and you send. Guess what? Write it and don't send it.
Mhm.
Keep it a day and read it and tell me if you still want to send it. Because it's the people who pause think about the outcome that they're looking for. Do I want to argue? Because if I do, they seem ready. But if they don't, what do I want to do? I want them to understand. I want them to know that I identify, or I need to understand why they're upset, or why they're challenging them, or why they're angry, or any of those things. When you start to use that pause, it's really powerful. And I didn't do it for a long time. But as soon as I saw that's like, this is a methodology
Yeah.
to improve your life. So that was huge. And the other thing that's probably like a much more philosophical approach to life is, he said, we need to stop looking for the meaning of life and start finding a way to live a meaningful life.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Learn to live, stop trying to find the meaning, and create a meaningful life by what you do, by the impact that you have. And that, my life is about, how can I have the greatest impact on the most people so that they can be confident, they can take action when it matters most. Because there'll be 4 or 5 times in your life maybe where it will be critical for you to step up, or to speak up, or to act. I always use the example of giving a eulogy to a friend or a parent, and people say, "Oh, I'm not a public speaker. I can't do it in front of people." And I just say, "You're never going to get another chance. This is not a public speaking
Mhm.
opportunity. This is oh, well, I could cry. Oh, wouldn't that be horrible? Wouldn't that everybody would laugh at you for doing that?" It's a eulogy. If you don't cry, they're wondering why. But to get up, and this is your chance to get up in front of all these people who love that person and say how you feel about losing them, and the impact that they had on your life, and the impact them not being in your life is going to be. And and I tie it, it's not just boldness to do that, but when you miss that opportunity, it's going to gnaw at you the rest of your life. And that's what happens, is look at those times where you didn't step up, or you didn't speak up. Because I didn't get to eulogize my father
Hmm.
because the church wouldn't allow it. But then years later, the church wouldn't allow anybody to speak except the priest. or somebody who was reading like an epistle or something from the Bible. So years later, my cousin's mom died. And at the funeral, he get up and read the same rules, right? Catholic Church, nobody can speak except the priest and somebody reading something from the Bible. So he reads something from the Bible. He's at the podium. He's reading something from the Bible. And then he proceeds to talk about his mom for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody's heart is so full because he's telling how much he loved her and how unique she was, what an incredible mom she was. And he making us laugh and making us cry. And it's like, that was the most important 10 minutes of the whole service. And he just said, I don't care what the rules are.
Yeah.
I am doing this right now. And the priest didn't come over and give him the hook. The priest sat there and probably went like, yeah, it's a pretty dumb rule, you know, but but he did it and I didn't let him. But I'm fine with it. Most likely, I believe, because most priests come from the heart, but they're stuck with a crazy rule book.